All right, I think we are live. Hello out there. We are so excited. Welcome to Divas Live with the Dating Divas, your guide to strengthening marriage one date at a time. So we're going to introduce ourselves first. So I'm going to hand it over to my girl, Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I am one of the Dating Divas here on the team. I'm a creative diva, and I also work on Google Plus with Caroline, and that's why we're here with you tonight. I've been married to my husband for 8.5 years. It seems like longer sometimes, but it's been 8.5 wonderful years, and I have 3 kids, 3 boys, 7, 5, and 3. So they keep me really, really busy. But that's me. Caroline? Can you hear me?
All right, I'm Caroline. I, again, for the Dating Divas, and with Amanda on members. So we're getting close to that big night. Number. We do have frozen. She'll come back. Anyway, Amanda has a cute cavalier too, right, Amanda?
Yes, I do. I'm back. Sorry, it froze up.
No, you're good. So we are super excited to be doing these Hangouts. It's kind of been our brainchild for a while to be doing these because we love our readers and we really want to connect with you guys and be able to chit chat more often. So our Google Hangouts on air. If you've done Google Hangouts before, it's usually like how it looks like with me and Amanda. But this way we can't see you. So don't worry. We get a lot of questions of people like, can you see me? So you can be in your PJs, you can be eaten, you can do whatever you want. So we're actually going to be doing these Google Hangouts on a more regular basis now, right, Amanda?
Right. We're going to be doing them on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month. So it's something you can plan on, and we'll be here. And if you do miss it, we record them and move them right over to YouTube. So you can follow us there if you do miss our Hangouts. But we're hoping that it's a regular thing so we can get more people involved and chat with you guys more often.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited. Okay, so something that we're gonna do each time is just feature some of our favorite things that we've been seeing that have been airing on our site for the past couple weeks. And something that I love is the Sexy Thanksgiving Love Notes. These are so cute. All of our printables are just so fantastically cute, and I love it. So these are just kind of cute notes that you can leave for your spouse to find whenever, and 'tis the season for Thanksgiving. And that brings us to one that you really liked, Amanda, which was Pie Night.
Yes, because I love pie. It's my husband and our birthday month, and we asked for pie for our birthday cake because we love pie so much. So it's a pie night, date night. And you invite your friends over and you have a whole bunch of different pies there, and there's awards for best pie and whatnot. And a family tradition that I do with my family is we have pie night the night before Thanksgiving and enjoy all of the wonderful pies when we're not stuffed from Thanksgiving and really enjoy them. And then on Thanksgiving, we know which pie we really, really want because we've sampled them all. So pie night, I am a huge, huge fan.
Oh my goodness. And that reminds me. So I was at the grocery store and walking down the aisle and getting stuff prepped for Thanksgiving. This is my first Thanksgiving that I'm basically cooking for us. Ooh. And there's a Marie Callender's pumpkin pecan streusel pie, which I'm so excited for. I grabbed it, put it in the freezer. It's like a pumpkin layer and then pecans right on top, and then streusel, I guess. I don't know. It's gonna be delicious.
You don't have to make it. That's the best part. It's made for you. Done.
Exactly. That's my favorite part. So, all right, awesome. Well, we want to jump right into the topic of this episode, our very first one, which is why is it important to date your spouse? I don't know. Amanda, do you want to talk about, like, we get this question all the time.
All the time. And I think it's different for every couple because every couple has different needs. And I think that dating your spouse really covers a bunch of needs and I think prevents some problems by spending that quality time with your spouse every week or on a normal, regular basis where you're away from bills, you're away from kids, you're away from some of the stresses at your home, and you're just together having fun, bonding, trying something new, and spending more time with your spouse. And that's what we're all about, is just strengthening your bond with your spouse through dating and doing that over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're chatting, because we can just chat all day long, but if you guys want to leave, if you're watching this live, you can leave questions and comments for us in the question and answer app, which is really cool. It's right there on the top up there of your events page. And so you can interact with us while we do this. But yeah, Amanda, I think you're right. I feel like when I heard, like, when I got married, like, you should go on weekly dates, like, or at least regular dates. I thought, oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't really think that much of it, I guess.
Right.
I thought, oh, well, that's a nice idea. And, we kind of started doing it. And I don't think we realized how much it really helped our relationship. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes it's so easy, especially after you've been married for a little while, to just kind of see each other as, okay, we're roommates, or we're, we both pay the bills and we both, are running around doing separate things if you have kids or if you're working or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard. I don't know, don't you?
I think so too. And I feel like you don't really notice the effect dating your spouse has on your marriage until you go without it. And I'm less patient with my spouse. I'm more grumpy with my kids when I don't have that alone time with my spouse. And I feel like I'm a better mother. I'm a better wife. I'm a better everything when I feel like I get quality time with the number one person in my life, which is my spouse. And so when I neglect that, then it trickles down into all the other areas of my life, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it kind of just like recharges me as a person too.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I feel like, as we write for the website, we talk a lot and we get a lot of questions of, how do I make my marriage a fair proof, or how do I safeguard my marriage? And I feel that's one of the things I loved when I first came across the Dating Divas was this is like the foundation of your relationship and keeping it strong and healthy and
right. And being intentional in your relationship by making time for it. It's not something that will always be there. My husband and I just had this conversation of, you can't take each other for granted. And I think that making that sacrifice, and it can be a sacrifice for your time and your money and your energy to make date nights happen, but it's a sacrifice that's worth it because your relationship with your spouse is worth it. And there's not really a way to divorce-proof your marriage, but spending time on it is sure going to do everything you can to make that a safe place for you and your spouse.
Yes. And I feel what you were saying just made me think of, like, it really helps me see us as a team.
Yeah.
And like that we're on the same, like we're working for the same things, but also just to keep it fun and, help you remember like, oh yeah, we have fun together and we love each other. And that's awesome. And that doesn't mean, if you forget that you have a bad marriage. I think, you just get caught up in going from place A to B to C and throughout the day. And sometimes you just get so caught up and we get busy and then we pass out at night and we do it all over again. So
yeah,
I really feel, I don't know, that sense of camaraderie and that teammate mentality.
I completely agree. Total
Awesome.
Truth.
Well, Amanda, you know this. We have people say all the time, okay, well, I agree with you. I think that it would be awesome to date my spouse, but how do we have the time? How, we have kids. How do we juggle that? Or my spouse isn't really on board with types of dates that, we do on the website. What do you tell them, Amanda? Because we have to answer this question all the time.
We do get this question a lot because some of our ideas are not for all couples. And so we get some concerns of, I really like this date idea, but maybe my husband's not quite on board with that. Like, how do I get him involved? Because I really want to move forward and continue to date my spouse. And if your spouse is not totally on board with, say, I don't know, the cute invite or the printable date idea or whatever, then just leave those out, I would say, and just use everything else. Use all the other elements of that date and just leave out the invitation if that's something that's throwing him off, that it's, oh, that's a little too girly, that's a little too planned. But that being said, you should still try it because my husband was a little iffy too, of like, really? Yes. I don't know. And I just did it. And then after that, he kept asking, oh, that's such a great idea, and maybe we could do another one. When are we going to do another one of your dates? And
yes,
from there on, and now he loves them. He loves all the bedroom ideas. He loves all the date ideas, and he's totally on board because eventually, in a nutshell, it's just us spending time together and having fun and trying new things, and he's totally on board that way. So if you've got the printables, leave them out, but still, you should still try them.
Yes. And I totally agree with that. And my husband too. I mean, we had always done date nights where we went out and did something. Yeah. But when I came across the Dating Divas, initially he was like, what? Like, I think he felt it was something like, this is something else we have to worry about. Yes. But eventually he saw like, oh, this makes like date night so much easier. Like, we just print this stuff off and we go, and it's, it's already planned for us most of the time. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, and me too, like, I feel like we do get that question all the time. And I don't know why people feel that they have to do like every single date that airs on our site. I mean, that's not possible.
No.
So I feel like you need to pick what works for you. And then, like myself, I am not a very crafty person. My sister got all of those like arts and craft jeans. So anything that's like really detailed, like the books and the making things that are really awesome that I wish I could, those aren't for me. But some of the other dates are just gold, and they just work out so, so well.
Right. And truth be told, we can't do all of the ideas on our site either. So we have to pick the ones that work best for our marriages. And even though there's all these great ideas, sometimes we just end up on the couch watching Netflix and cuddling and eating popcorn. And that's one of our date ideas that Caroline's going to talk about later. And
yes,
just you guys spending time together. So it doesn't have to be this huge, outlandish, super planned date every single time. These are just fun ideas. It's ultimately just, again, you guys spending time together and being alone and stuff.
And stuff. dot. So, but yeah, I think you're absolutely right that sometimes we think it's a big production, and it doesn't have to be.
No.
It can be really simple. Especially like if you're sick or you've had a crazy week, then just relax, then get some food and relax with each other. So one other thing I always like to tell people too is make sure that in the date somewhere, there's something that both of you enjoy in turn. So what's the perfect, the sweet spot is when you can find something that really appeals to both of you. But if not, have something in there for you. Have something in there for your spouse. And I think if your spouse isn't super in love with this idea at first, plan the date. Like, take the initiative and really like plan that first date, and plan something that that your spouse is really, really going to like. Yeah. Because then they're going to say, oh yeah, like this is a fun thing to do, and not like, oh, this is something else my husband or my wife is making me do.
Right.
So it's supposed to be fun. It's not a trick or anything. I feel sometimes we like in, I don't know, listening to, they're not marriage therapists, but people who write about marriage. I feel like sometimes it feels like drudgery, like, well, now you're going to do this. It's like, no, it's be fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Not an assignment, right?
Yes, I totally agree. So we're actually going to talk about a couple of dates that we think would be great to like really get you started. If you're like, we're like, these are simple, easy, planned dates, like click on the post and go type of things. So Amanda, is there anyone that you really want to talk about first? Anything that you've really liked?
Well, for the easy plan and go, there's that cuddle kit. And I think that's right at the top. The cuddle kit 2, is that right?
Yes.
Cuddle
and we'll have all of these links in the video.
Yeah, it's a cuddle kit for 2. It's got some cute printables to go with everything in your basket. So it's a basket full of cuddle, movie, treats, you and your spouse. It's just a little surprise. So you could leave that, you could do it in the living room, you could do it in the back of a car, you could do it on a park bench. I mean, you can have this little date exchange any place.
Oh, that you can do it in the back of the car.
I know.
Just kidding. But maybe not.
Please stop. You can do it anywhere.
Okay. So yeah, I love that cuddle kit as well, because that's definitely like up our alley as like spouses. We really love to just kind of relax with each other, and we're like huge movie people. Like we love to go see movies. That's kind of like our guilty pleasure. We're like, we spend way too much money doing that, probably more than we should. So you know, you mentioning that, I did do the Netflix binge watching date night, and that really came out of, I'm not writing posts so much anymore for the site, focusing more on some other things for the site, but when I was still writing, I was, you know, sitting there thinking, I was like, okay, I need a date that I'd like really, really, really like, would be really easy, I would just love to do, I could pull out. Mike would just be game for it. It would just be like a home run type thing. And I was like, well, we're always watching Netflix.
Yes.
And so I was thinking, you know, how do we make Netflix more than just kind of like vegging out on the couch together, and just like kind of coexisting next to each other. So I came up with some fun ideas and bounced some ideas actually off of Mike, and was like, you know, what would be some fun things to do? I don't know if your internet is great, but mine sometimes is not so great. And it'll do the buffering thing. So anytime it buffers, you'd pick a card and do like a quick like 2-minute activity, and then you'd go back to watching and having snacks. And so it was really nice. And after that one, Mike was like, wow, like I really liked this one. It was good. So doesn't have to be a big production. And along with that, Amanda, we've got those 18 movie dates already planned.
Yes. And so it's 18 movies. It's one of our roundups, and I haven't done all of these, but it's rental movies. And you pick one of these movies, and then it's a whole date that's planned around that. So you can do this when the kids are in bed, and it's just the 2 of you. So put the kids to bed early, and then grab your movie, and it has printables for that movie. So you've got games and activities and just a whole lot of fun. And it's all in your living room. So you don't have to get a sitter. You can put the kids to bed and just have a little time for yourself without a lot of expense, and it's so fun. So it takes a normal movie, I think, and kicks it up a notch, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I love, because then I don't feel guilty about watching a movie for date night. Is that then I can say, okay. And I love it because some of them will have like printables, like cute plays on words for like that particular movie, for like food, or the invite. I love the invites too. That's always one of my favorite things, because I can say, hey, this is something special. I thought about you, and you know, you're important to me.
Yes, and that's my love language, of just being thought about, of like, oh, this is important, and you thought about me, and you planned something, and then I feel so loved and special. So I don't know if anybody else out there feels that way, but yeah, I love that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we also have the not so newlywed game. Well, to be fair, we do for you newlyweds, we do have a newlywed game. But for those of you who've been married, you know, a couple years at least, or getting on, and you feel like, well, I'm starting to know this person really well. We've got the not so newlywed game. Yes. Which I love that idea. And Amanda, you've played it.
Yes, I have played it. I've invited like 4 or 5 of my closest couples because you really get to know each other well. And so I don't know, I didn't want a lot of this information out for the world because some of the questions are a little embarrassing. But yeah, we invited them over. We had dinner, and the printables are really easy. They're just little cards. And they all have questions on them, and everybody has a score sheet, and everyone goes around and fills it out. And I learned a lot of things about my friends that I didn't know and that I cherish and hold dear because I won't share them. And they found some things out about me that I wouldn't want them to share either. But it was so fun. Everyone was laughing. We had husbands on the floor laughing. It was just a blast. It was a blast. And it wasn't hard to put together. We printed it out. I cut out the little cards. And we had dinner, and it was done. It was easy.
That's perfect. That's what I like. Easy. Because I don't have time for anything else. Yeah, I love that. And that reminds me too, you know, if you're new to our site, we do have dates that are just for the 2 of you, or if you want to get your friends together, if you're more extroverts, yes. You can definitely do that, or double dates, or I don't know. There's tons of options there. And that also made me think of too, the Would You Rather date, yes. Which is a great example of like, we were actually in a crunch. I thought we'd have more time basically like after work and to go on a date. So we were actually on our way out, or pulled up the What Would You Rather game. And I just pulled up the printables, and so I didn't print them out, so it wasn't quite as cute as it could have been. But I was able to go through those questions at dinner, and we just had a blast. Like, had questions that we thought like, oh, I never thought of asking you that question before, or I never knew that. And that's really nice and refreshing when you've been married for a little while. And I'm sure those of you who've been married, you know, 10, 15, 20 years, you'd appreciate that even more. So.
Right. And it's a great way to make that date work for you. Like, you didn't have to print out all the printables and have a big show hullabaloo about the date. You just pulled it up on your phone. You used the printables. You had a good time, and it was easy peasy. Like, you just make it work for you, right?
Yes, you have to. So awesome. Well, here's the thing, guys. We were going to have some time for question and answer, but the lovely Amanda actually has somewhere she's got to run. So we are super, super, super excited to be doing this. And so leave us comments, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's over on our Google Plus page, about what types of themes you want us to have or what things you want us to discuss in our episodes. You know, we have some ideas, but we'd really love to hear what you have to say. So I don't know, Amanda, anything you want to add to that?
Well, they should know that we read and we look at every comment. It's either I or Caroline every single time. So if you guys post something, we do read it, and we love hearing from you. So, and we love responding to you. So add some comments, and we will tailor our show to what you guys want for sure.
Yes, and we promise that in the future there will be more interaction, and we'll answer the questions that you put in the question and answer pod or app. So we are so excited, but we'll let you guys go. So until next time, so the second Tuesday in December.
Perfect.
The next time. So, and that'll be at 6:30 again as well. And we'll kind of blast that out on our page and our social media. So until next time, keep dating your spouse. Bye, guys. Bye.